I hope you're kind to yourself on your worst days, the days where you can't seem to get anything done and you can't seem to regulate your emotions and you feel rough and awful and everything just feels like a bit of a mess. I hope you're kind to yourself and compassionate to yourself on those days. Those are the days that you need it the most. Those are also the days where we tend to extend it to ourselves the least. I've had to really confront this within myself recently because I had about 3 weeks where I was essentially out of commission. I didn't have the energy to film. I didn't have the energy to do the things that I love, and I felt like a mess, and I just was really struggling, and I was really good at honoring what my body was telling me and not trying to push through. But I was hearing my inner dialogue become increasingly more critical. And one day I was looking out of the window feeling really, really emotional because I was just like, I just want to do things, and I almost felt like trapped in my body and unable to function. And I just had another train of thought that went, I hope your kindness and your self-compassion isn't reserved for your good days. It's really easy to be kind to yourself when everything is going well and when you're hitting all of the points that you want to hit and you're doing all of the things that you want to do, but the real self-compassion and the real self-kindness is needed on the days where you simply cannot, across the board. There is nothing in the tank. You have no energy. You can't do the things you want to do. You feel like you're falling behind according to the arbitrary timetable that you've built for yourself. That's when you need to be kind to yourself. That's when you need to show yourself the love. That's when you need to tell yourself it's safe to do nothing right now. That's one thing I've started saying to myself, that it's safe to do nothing. It's safe to be still. If I don't have the energy now, at some point I will have it again. If I can't produce now, at some point I will produce again. And it's been a journey for sure. It's been a journey. I'm still catching myself getting a little bit meaner to myself in my head when I feel the productivity dipping or I feel the energy level dipping, and it frustrates me because I don't feel like I did enough when I had the high energy. And it is what it is. We're all learning ourselves. This is a journey and this is a balance. I went from being able to do nothing for years because I didn't understand how my brain worked and I wasn't accommodating myself, to actually being able to do stuff now because I'm doing it in a way that works for me. But sometimes there are going to be points and moments where you simply cannot and should not do anything. And that's okay. That is okay. And that's what I'm learning to get used to. The fact that it's actually okay not to be producing sometimes. Sometimes it's actually imperative that you stop. It's actually imperative that for your own well-being and your own health, you stop and look after yourself and take care and take note of what your body and your mind are telling you. And if you can't do it today, you will be able to do it in some proverbial tomorrow. And if you can't do it in the way that you thought you'd be able to do it, you'll be able to do it another way. I've said this before and I'll say it again. You have no obligation to make a particular way of doing things work for you. I am learning this because I have leaned into so much advice that says this is the way that you do X, Y, Z and ABC, and none of it worked for me. So as I'm building my own routines and my own methods and my own style of doing this and ways of being, it's interesting sometimes because you're building a life that works for you, specifically tailored to you. You'll find yourself doing things that absolutely no one recommended. And sometimes you just have to have faith in the fact that this works for me and I've tried and tested it, and if it doesn't work for me anymore, I trust that I will be able to find what works for me. But right now I can do nothing. I can sit here in stillness. I trust myself enough to know how much rest I need and know when it's time to get back up, and I trust that if I take the time that I need when I don't have the energy, I will be mentally able and physically able when I do have the energy to do what I need to do. But if I push myself now, I'm going to resent myself and it's going to backfire. But the bottom line is your kindness towards yourself and your compassion towards yourself should not be reserved for just the good days. You need it more on the bad days. Whatever a bad day looks like for you, that is the time to focus on just pouring into yourself lovingly and encouraging yourself and reminding yourself of who you are. It's not just for when you're doing really well. I have a habit of doing something well, like even at work, and just being like, wow, I'm such a good problem solver, or I'm such a good, and fill in the blank, or I'm really good at this, I'm really good at what I do, and affirming myself in those moments. But in the bad days, I don't often do that. And that's something that I'm learning, and that's something I'm realizing is so important. So I've made a habit of being like, wow, I'm really good at observing what I need. when I can't do stuff, or when I feel unable to do stuff, and so I make the decision not to. Or I'm really good at honouring myself. I'm really good at setting boundaries with myself. I'm really good at deciding that I'm not going to do something that I told myself I wasn't going to do because I wasn't in the headspace for it. Find whatever way works for you. Affirmations I absolutely love for myself, but find whatever way works for you to pour into yourself on the days where you feel rough, because you deserve it. You deserve your kindness on your worst days. You deserve it at every point. And that's it for me, honestly. Just be kind to yourself because you deserve that kindness. Be loving to yourself because you deserve softness with yourself, with other people as well, but especially with yourself. I feel like what we normalize within ourselves, we tolerate from other people and we see as acceptable when it comes to other people. But yeah, that's everything from me. I hope you find this useful. You deserve that love. You deserve that kindness. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.